The 3D asset you're seeing in this animation, the gas station, the off-road car, the props, was completely generated using AI. I didn't model a single asset in entire animation, and honestly, I never modeled anything in my life, and I'm not planning to start anytime soon. The whole Unreal scene took just a few hours to build, from the original idea of building a gas station in the desert to create the assets and then creating the animation. All of this was possible using the advanced Tripo AI model generation, which is sponsoring this video. First thing we are going to do in this tutorial, we are going to create a visual mood board of the idea that we want to create, and then we are going to create a list of assets. Then we are going to hop on Tripo and convert those assets from 2D into 3D models, and then we'll show you how to export all these assets and import them into a real engine and show you how I build this entire scene. This video is sectioned on multiple chapters, so feel free to jump on the part you are interested the most. Building an environment like this normally means modeling every single asset by hand. Imagine modeling the gas station, the off-road car, the props. These take days or even weeks if you don't have the modeling experience. Tripo AI changed that. You give an image, a sketch, or just even a text prompt, and it creates a 3D model in seconds. The assets are ready to use into your visual effects project, animation, or building game assets. It comes with two types of generation. Smart Mesh is built for speed, low poly generation, perfect for early stage when you want to figure out how your project is going to look. The second generation is the high detail H3.1, and it focuses on pushing the visual quality of 3D models to a different level. This is by improving geometry, surface detail, and overall accuracy. It enables creators to generate assets that are suitable for close-up renders and high-quality scenes, eliminating the needs for extra polish. I use this mode for all my hero assets, the ones that are actually close up to the camera. Tripo also roll out the AK texture generation, and honestly, this is the feature that impressed me the most. On every single close-up shot, either is the rust metal texture, the paint are looking amazing, and I never seen anything like that before. Building the mood board. A gas station sounds like one thing, but it's really a list of separate assets that all combined create this environment. These are a couple of images references I used for inspiration when I was creating the gas station. Straight after that, I created the list of everything I wanted to build and lay them out into a mood board. It's just easier for me visually to see all the elements. When you build the mood board, you want to use references with a white background to convert them into a 3D asset. But if you can't find any references you're looking for, don't worry. Tripo has a built-in image generation feature that lets you create images directly inside the platform using a prompt through Nano Banana. Now, if you have the mood board ready and you have all the images, the next step I would say is to stay a little bit organized. What I usually do, I create a project folder, and inside I do separate subfolders for each category. It sounds boring, but in my experience, staying organized, it's gonna play well on the long run. Here's the most important part. Head off to tripo3d.ai and click into Tripo Studio. You can use the link in the video description to get started. Once you're signed in, you will see the main page, which has a variety of 3D examples from other creators. It's really great for inspiration. The first thing I do, I click on to generate HD model. On the left, we've got a couple of settings. I use the HD model for anything that will be close to the camera, and Smart Mesh for background element. Here's the part that generally surprised me. You can drag in a single image to generate an asset. This is mind-blowing. Or you can drag the same object from multiple angles. Also, you can do batch image to 3D, or you can do something unique by typing a prompt. A few settings worth knowing before you generate. Under geometry and texture, I always leave ultra mesh quality on and texture 8K quality. PBR, this is important if you want to convert images that has metal and glass textures. Typology, I'll leave everything as it is right there. And generate in parts is one of my favorite settings that I'm discovering. It splits the model into separate editable pieces, which is generally useful if you want want to plan to add texture by yourself in Unreal Engine, for example. Now I'll show you a couple of examples of creating 3D assets. The first asset I want to create is a gas pump. I upload a reference photo. You can drag and drop or copy paste. Just you got the settings I mentioned just before, and within a minute you will have a fully textured, accurate 3D model from front to back to bottom, all matching the reference. Zoom into the nozzle. The 8K resolution is genuinely impressive. The second asset is the off-road car. For this one, I wanted to generate the 3D model in parts because I want to swap the materials separately in Unreal using the automotive material pack. I found this off-road car on a configurator online, drag and drop all the angles into the right boxes, generating parts, then generate the model. It's worth mentioning for the segmentation, the feature texture is not available. This is the result I've got and it's quite impressive. If you're not happy, you can retry for free to create different other variations. The third asset I want to show you is how to create an ice machine using a prompt. For this one, you can use the tab image from above, type the prompt you want to create, the ice machine. The model will create the images and then you can convert the result into 3D assets. Now, you'll have to repeat this process for all the assets into your list. For me, it took me a couple of hours, so I'm gonna go straight into the exporting. Once you're happy with your generation, it's time to export the asset. The process is very straightforward. Navigate to the asset you want to export. In my case, I want to pick the off-road car, and underneath that, you'll see a click to export. And then I choose GLB format, and make sure you click on the 8K texture. One thing I have noticed after making this tutorial, you can also do batch export, exporting multiple assets at once, and you can do also the export to your favorite 3D software. And then jump straight into Unreal Engine. Create an Unreal Engine project and create a folder and drag and drop your files directly into the project. Once all your assets are in, it's time to build a scene. What I usually do is to pull up a real photo of the gas station, my original reference, and pop it on the screen and then start building in Unreal Engine my environment to match as close as I can with the image reference. It took me a couple of hours, so I'm gonna speed up this process. After a few hours of working, this is the final result, a full gas station built entirely from AI generated assets sitting inside Unreal Engine with real-time, real lighting and reflections. Let's get a few close-up of the details to see how good these 3D models are holding. Couple of things I want to mention here. Sometimes it takes a couple of generations until you get an exact 3D model. The segmentation part comes without the texture, so you have to texture it yourself. One of another reason I found is sometimes you want to convert complex images with a lot of elements inside. The segmentation is not really working. I would suggest you start with small objects and you definitely will get a good result. Personally, I always wanted access to 3D assets, and most platforms that sells 3D assets are too expensive. With Tripo, you get an entire platform that can generate any 3D assets you're looking for. This is absolutely insane. If you want to try this yourself, Tripo is linked in the description. You can use the code TripoCrew for 60% of your first month on the Pro plan. And that's pretty much me. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and if you do, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to find out more about Gaussian plots and other videos, I would highly encourage you to go on my YouTube channel and check my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.